Hey Hofstra fans, welcome inside the W. Mason Coach Report here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Tom Brady, joined as always by the head coach of the Hofstra men's lacrosse team, Seth Tierney. Coach, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Tom.
Now, Coach, this past weekend, team wrapped up the season down in Penn State, a 9-8 double overtime loss. Tell me about the game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we came out pretty well. It's close at halftime. Stretched out in the third quarter to 7-3, and a host of events had taken place at the end of the third quarter and then into the fourth quarter, and we even got it up to 8-5 after they had a little bit of a run, and that's been our heel. We've been up. I've been crunching numbers the last 36 hours. We've been up against a lot of the better teams in the country, and we've had a hard time playing with a lead, whether it's mentally or something's taken place, and we just feel like, oh, here it comes again. And that's something that we've met as a staff this morning. We're going to cut up every fourth quarter of every game. We're going to start watching it as of tomorrow. And the unfortunate part is 2013 is here for me. New Year's takes place in the lacrosse season. When you lose your last game, only one person gets to celebrate after the ball drops, so to speak. Everyone else celebrates a different New Year's, and that's when the last game is. And we need to start out with 2013. We're going to meet and we're going to move forward. But I'm proud of the fight. We had three very formidable opponents at the end of the year in Penn State and UMass and North Carolina. A stretch for anybody against those three is certainly challenging, and we were winning in all three of those games. So there are some good things to take. I'm not ready to take them just yet, knowing the competitive nature that I've been brought up in. But we're gonna start off the new year right away, and we're gonna try to get better. Starting right after this interview.
I think in the game, fourth quarter faceoffs turned out to be a big difference. Penn State won 4-6, and it's also been one of the problems in the fourth quarter. It seems like throughout the season. Can you put a finger on anything for that?
Yeah, no. I mean, we talked about it with Coach Unterstein this morning. It has been an issue, and we need to pinpoint the issues. At the end of the third quarter, with a second or two to go, again, these are all going to sound like excuses, but one of the Penn State players literally shoots a ball at one of our guys, and I end up fighting for one of our guys. So one of those faceoffs was on me. They just gave the ball to the other team to start off the fourth quarter. But it has been in other scenarios, whether they're making adjustments versus John or Zach, or violations, if they're now they're changing personnel. And again, we know what the problem is. Now we need to dive into what the problem is and really dissect it and make sure that it never surfaces its ugly head again.
In this game, a couple of seniors had some big days. Michael DiNapoli, 4 goals, and Andrew Gavazza making 12 saves. And then what can you say about the job those guys did in that game and on the season as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was good after the game. I didn't even talk to the guys. We got back to Margiata Hall, and I saw some of those seniors sitting on the couch in our locker room, and it hit me that that they're gone. And you're just looking at their faces, and they're looking at you, and you're doing a lot of talking without speaking. But Michael DiNapoli, he did a great job. He really did. And there was a time where he pulled the ball up top and wanted to dodge. That would be that's not in the playbook for us. He's an inside guy finishing the ball, but that's how bad he wanted it. Andrew come up with some big saves for us. All of the seniors, and we went around the room. All of the seniors has played a huge role. None of those guys have ever experienced not being in the playoffs, and that's why I think this one's really tough to take. Lacrosse is big out there now, and we got to tighten up our belts a little bit and start to move forward.
You mentioned a team not making the postseason now, and in the end, winds up being 6 1-goal losses for your team. So, what's it like as a coaching staff to know it's just the slimmest of margins that prevented your team from, maybe going 12-2 this year versus 16?
It's brutal. It's brutal. Yes, probably at the end of the interview, I'll say, listen, there's some bright moments where we're a play or two away, but those plays need to happen, and they just don't happen on game day. You need to shoot 1,000 lacrosse balls so that when you get when you're in that situation, it becomes a layup. It becomes an easy shot for you, and so it's easier said than done. But we're gonna make sure that our guys know specifically what they need to do over the summer and the fall and the winter, so these situations start again. 6 one-goal losses, 4 in-conference one-goal losses. You know, and listen, the support has been great by the alums and you know, everyone that supports us. It's been terrific. It's been a very, very challenging year. They say character is built out of adversity. Well, you know, our character is high right now because we've had an adverse year, and we can only learn from it. You know, it is, you go in mourning, you really do, and you can only pull out a positive after such a negative. And you know, I am looking forward to being here for 2013 and turning this thing around. I'm looking forward because all of those freshmen, they are now sophomores, and that's what we're looking forward to. So, you know, all of the juniors are now seniors. We're going to see what kind of leaders they are, and we're looking forward to the new freshman class coming in.
Now you mentioned it, you know, a lot of pieces coming back next year. So when do you start looking ahead and start making preparations, I guess, for next season? And are you excited, I guess, already?
Yeah, there is a partial excitement, and I think that it's I'm trying to get that excitement out because I'm having a hard time doing it. You know, like I said, it is a mourning at the end of it. At the end of your last game, you know, you go through this period where it's just heavy, and you just don't want it to end because you know over a 4-year period how much these guys have put in to do that. And that goes for every team in the country, not just Hofstra. But our guys worked really hard, and they deserved more. And again, we're a shot away, or a pass away, or a save away, or a face-off away. And that now we have to use that as motivation to get back to where we're used to, where we want to be, and then to go where we want to go.
So I guess with that in mind, Coach, any final thoughts that you have on this season as a whole for your club?
Certainly, I appreciate all the support and all the interviews that you've done, and everybody around at Hofstra. It's been great. You know, we'll be back. You know, there's no getting around that, and I am looking forward. We've got a great group of core guys, and the senior class that's leaving us, they've done a great job, as the other senior classes that have left us, and Hofstra lacrosse is in a better place, and we look forward to moving forward.
All right, Seth Tierney, head coach of the Hofstra men's lacrosse team. Thanks for joining us all season long here inside the W. Mason Coach Report on GoHofstra.com.
Thanks, Tom.